DX is, even in between the sunspot cycle being a low ebb, it's still going to be done. And like you said, I remember as a kid during the summer, almost every summer I was able to do DX. And like you said, like that fellow, in Ohio said, he had it. Oh, it was yourself, I guess. Who had the TV antenna with the walkie-talkie? I forget if it was you or the other gentleman. Bottom line is that back in the day, I mean, you didn't need high power to, because most guys are not running high power, so it was not that hard to do DX. It wasn't that hard to make a long distance contact, because there wasn't five guys next to you that each had 1,000 watts each that, didn't give you a chance. So I do believe that the story of the walkie-talkie connected to the TV antenna, I don't know how the SWR was, but I do believe the contacts that were made off of that, because once again, you didn't need lots of power, because no one was using power. You didn't need a tremendous antenna, because most guys didn't have it. So you
Okay, I'm going to go raise it up. You saw how low it was. And, yeah, looks like they're taking a break.
Roger, John. The Blue Grail State. Again, very good morning. Your report, John, Radio 5, 5 and 7. Your signal, 5557 on the IMAX here in New York City proper. John, stand by just for a second. Let me pass the microphone to Roy, and maybe he'd like to give you a shout. 85, a microphone to you, sir. Yeah, thanks a lot, Jim. Yeah, John, 322 GWIZ. You're in, once again, in my living room. Very, very loud signal. And Q5 100%, John. 85 New York City. I'm glad someone finds this interesting, but I am lamenting over the change and, the guard of, the loss of the newer generation into this hobby. I do believe that the old generation will hold it, but I don't know what's going to happen another 25 years from now. We'll see. But for now, John, we got a hobby. How about that?
That station go that had that big signal out there. Wow, they're really coming in. Yeah, where'd he go, that guy with the big signal?
Very fine there, John, 322, and I'm glad that I've been bitten by the hobby many, many times, and unfortunately, every once in a while I put down the mic, but I come back, and I'm back again, obviously, so good to hear your voice, John, in Kentucky, 322.85. Back to you there, Jim, 011, but once again, going back to, one of my greatest enjoyable parts of this hobby is I like to do the QSB, when you basically take that low-powered walkie-talkie. I went on a trip with my wife. We went to the Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon out in Utah, and I took that little walkie-talkie, that 5-watt Cherokee, 5-band walkie-talkie. I don't know if the dipole's cheating or not, but maybe it's cheating a little bit. But I hooked it up in Bryce Canyon, and let me tell you, I spoke to Long Island, a friend of mine from Long Island from Bryce Canyon. How about that? So that's 5-watt walkie-talkie with a dipole. That's the hobby, my friend. John in the great state of Kentucky, 322 from 011 New York. Yeah, I agree. That's one of the wonderful.
Yeah, frequencies in use, please stand by.
Well, I know I did. You know, more power, more power, more power. We've gone that route before, but low power and antennas and locations, and of course the right conditions really make it much more enjoyable. It's much more of a much more juicy when you're running 25, 30 watts, and there's a lot more technique involved in working DX than that can get pretty standard, you know, when you're running 700 watts for an activation or another station that just happened to come up on frequency. Everybody wants, and you know, you get it on the second or third call. But running low power, it's for me, personal call, a little more enjoyable and satisfying to make the loud noise that you.
Frequencies in use, please stand by.
That means a lot of things to different people. I tell you what, Roy, you know, talking about different antennas, we used to go up to Bear Mountain, New York. I guess as the crow flies, it's about 35 miles north of here. But it has a pretty decent altitude. It's about 14.
Does this story ever end? Hi, hi.
And you can see it in different states on a clear day. At least that's what the park ranger used to tell me. And we used to go up there on Sundays and set up a couple of different types of antennas. 2-element Yagi, which we still have, a full-wave delta loop. We used to hang from essentially what was a clothesline, a bidirectional full-wave antenna, polarized on the flat side. Locally to us.
IMAX 2,055 feet. Back over to the Trizuka.
5-element Yagis, and could get a grip on the station I was talking to. Couldn't return the report to that station that I was. So that height certainly had a lot to do with it. Back to you, Roy. Roger. Yes, QSK acknowledged will be taken very soon. Very cool. You know, working a portable station. I mean, Bear Mountain, as a kid, I spent summers in Rockland County at all those little camps and bungalow colonies up there, so I do know that area. I've hiked in Bear Mountain. And picking up, you know, those cool antennas, even 1,400 feet certainly can give you everything you need. And like I said, Bryce Canyon, that was 7,000 feet up. But just a little 5 miles to the walkie-talkie with a dipole man. I worked about 7 states, and I worked my friend in Long Island. With your permission, Jim, I'm going to grab the QSK. Go ahead, QSK.
Who's that big radio out there? Yeah, 412 on the side, Chicago. I covered him up, maybe.
Oh, thanks a lot, 1877. You sound great here too, Cad. Very strong. I guess DX is coming in here, whether we expect it or not. It's here. And this gentleman, 1877, is proof of that, Cad. Very nice. Yeah, this is Roy over here, Long Island, New York. We're about 5 miles east of the Queens County line, just over the New York City line in Long Island. And we have a super scanner antenna, a range of 3,500, and a D104 mic. On the antenna, you know, halfway does the trick. Appreciate the call, appreciate you listening to us. Say hello to Jim there in the Bronx, and I'll let him say hello back to you there, Cad. Very nice.
Station on the side, don't hurry.
Yeah, no doubt there, Cat. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm going to find you my logbook. Like I said, I have this logbook since the late 60s, so I got a lot of pages in here, but I'll probably find you in there, Cat. Very good. So this is 85 Long Island, New York. I'm going to be clear here on your final, and I'll switch up to Jim 011 in the Bronx. I'm sure he can hear you. Get it, Jim. Take it back.
Yeah, okay, Roger, 85 Long Island from 011, Jim in New York. Okay, Cat, 73s and 51s from NYC to you in the great state of Indiana, 1877. Congrats, Cat, on the 2980, the plus 3B microphone and the Antron number. It's quite loud. Your signal varies between 5 and 7, on occasion 5 and 9. Sometimes it drops down to 5 and 3, but there's never any change in the audio. So very happy to have this opportunity to say hello. 1877 from 011, Jim returning. Roger.
412 windy on the side, no hurry.
1877 from 011 in company with 85. Take care, ciao, ciao.
CQ, New York, 412.
Yeah, 412, good morning from 011, operator Jim, Bronx County, City of New York, also on frequency, the unit 5, operator Roy, Long Island, listening. Roger.
Roger that, Jim, 011, I believe it is, Long Island, New York. Yeah, Lima Victor 412 here, operator Scott, Sierra Charlie Oscar Tango Tango, just outside of the Windy City here off Lake Michigan. And you boys are really booming in, and that 85 with that super scanner, he may have it right on us, because he's up to about, peaking about a Santiago 9 there, Roger.
QSL Scott, yeah, that's Roy with the super scanner. We're running a vertical here at the moment. Roy, let me pass the microphone, excuse me, Scott, let me pass the microphone to Roy of the unit 85. Roy, microphone to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks a lot there, Jim. Yeah, Scott, you're definitely equally S9 over here in Long Island, New York, and you said you're by Chicago, am I correct?
That's correct, Roy. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I got in here, and I hope I have your permission, if it's okay. I've got a little video clip running from my YouTube channel showing this antenna out, very low to the ground, but then I brought it back up, and yeah, it's about a half wave up, my triple bazooka, Roger.
Well, I don't know how far, you said it's a half wave off the ground, Scott?
Yeah, the bottom part of it, it's like a T fashion, and it's about, 16 feet off the ground, Roger.
Well, it's sounding just great here in New York, 100%. You know, they always say if you can get the antenna a wavelength off the ground, it'd be great. So, you know, of course, for us, it's 36 feet off the ground. We're just about that now. They always say it's about where it should be. If you can get away with it, you know, if you know, your living conditions allow. But I tell you right now, Scott, you're S9 here and your clean audio. This is all you need.
Okay, good. I just got into the tail end of your antenna talk there, and I found it intriguing, and you were talking about some other designs or what have you, but yeah, I was talking earlier with a gentleman out there in Rhode Island, I think it was, or wait a minute, Milford, Connecticut. I don't know if you guys work him. Oh my gosh, I forgot his handle, but yeah, I had a little breakfast here with the wife, and thought I'd come back in and check conditions, and then I heard you in there. I'm like, my goodness. Yeah, it's outstanding setup you have there, for sure. So, yeah, I just thought I'd jump in and say hello there from Chicago here. And, yeah, it's just a dipole, a triple, I call it, Trizuka, I call it, bazooka, Roger.
Well, like I was telling Jim, I had a lot of fun with the dipole. I went to Bryce Canyon, and I went to Grand Canyon, you know, out in Utah, and with a little 5-watt walkie-talkie, you know, the sideband walkie-talkie, I was able to talk to about 5 different states, including back from Utah to Long Island, New York, a friend of mine. So a dipole gets the job done, my friend, as you know, and I put that thing horizontal in right next to the canyon, and let me tell you, it did just fine. So they always say location and antenna is always more important than the radio, and I do believe that. You know, if your antenna's in the right spot, you know, you have an excellent chance at a great station. And I'm just using a range of 3500, which is an old 10-meter radio, and you know, the antenna I got, you know, although, you know, it's certainly a compromise. It's half, you know, half omnidirectional and half directional. I think the height and just, you know, just the ability to, you know, have some directionality give me a certain advantage. So clearly, Scott, your dipole's getting the job done.
Yeah, well, in essence, that's what you're running as well there with the super scanner. Just a dipole with the 2 reflectors there. I assume you're pointed out my way. Yeah, maybe go through the rotary there and let us see the different signals. Yeah, well, the dipole is brilliant because also it doesn't have to be grounded. No ground needed, just like the loop antenna, and makes it very easy to deploy. And yeah, you don't need those ground radios or wire running to ground there, Roger.
Yeah, it's a furnace guy. Yeah, correct. It's basically, like you said, a dipole with 2 reflectors. Very cool antenna. Very cool design. And yeah, I certainly could turn it different directions. It's pretty much, I have it pointed southwest now. If I put it southeast, I'll probably drop quite a bit down here. Let me just do that. So I assume my signal strength has dropped a certain amount there, Scott. What do you say?
Yeah, go around the dial. You lost about an S unit is all.
Okay, now we're due north, which of course is pretty much, I would say probably not a bad signal to you either, because Chicago would be northwest of me. So, and now of course I go back to the original setting, which was southwest.
Yeah, the north is doing better into Chicago. Yeah, I'm surprised you set it up that way. I think it wouldn't be more effective unless you got some DX straight south of you. I think I would set it with, you know, a little northwest, southeast, or what have you, Roger?
Yeah, I hear you, Scott. I mean, quite frankly, I just threw the damn thing up there, and it kind of fell where it fell. But my 3 directions, I have north, I have southwest, and I have southeast, and it does the job. I mean, you know, if I want to talk to Europe, I put it on, you know, southeast or north, and if I want to talk back to the west coast, I do southwest, and north is Canada. So I mean, I'm okay. You know, it gets the job done. And of course, you know, with some directionality, it knocks out a lot of the ambient noise, obviously there's so many stations, when DX comes in, you get so many stations in at once, it can kind of quiet the frequency down for me. So it gives me a compromise. It's great at nothing, but it does everything, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Roger that, Roy. Yeah, you'll see, it's pretty impressive. If I flip over to my IMAX and then back over to the dipole, yeah, it's tremendous. A good 5 dB, 3 to 5 dB gain on it. So yeah, it's nice. I saw those guys. I saw a guy on the internet. He had someone that put it in a horizontal fashion, and I'm assuming you have it in a traditional vertical position, Roger.
That's affirmative, Scott. Definitely vertical. Yeah, I guess you could use it horizontal if you want to do some DX. I don't know how great that would be, but it's certainly an idea. I know a lot of the 10-meter guys use it horizontally as well, but no, it's definitely vertical, and it's been up there since the 90s, and it's worked for us all this time. It's been maintenance free too, which is another reason why I like it, Scott. There's no maintenance involved. I mean, we had the hurricane up here, you know, Sandy back a few years back. We were lucky it made it through that as well. So hopefully it'll stay up there many more years.
Yeah, Roger that, Roy. I went over to my vertical, my IMAX 2000. Are you copying me on the vertical?
Oh, I hear you fine, Scott. I mean, the conditions are changing. There's a lot of QSB, but I still hear you.
Yeah, I have you about at least 30% more modulation on the Trizuka. That's interesting to note, but yeah, check it out. I'm going to post this little video clip, maybe even talk to your buddy over there and real quick and see if he's still copying. The big difference in signals between the two of you, and I'm not sure why. Well, probably, yeah, because you got the double reflectors going high. But yeah, it's the YouTube channel name is Dream Antenna Design, no S on the end, and Yeah, thank you. It was very interesting here this morning, Roger.
No, thank you, Scott. Great QSO. And I will turn it over to Jim 011 in the box. And with your permission, just repeat the YouTube this channel this way I can check it out, of course, and I will do that, Scott. Thank you. Let me turn it over to Jim and let him continue the QSO. Thank you.
Yeah. Look for unit 085 and or unit 85. It's Dream Antenna Design. All one word. Delta Romeo Echo Alpha Mike Antenna Design. Delta Echo Sierra India Golf November. Roger.
Okay, and the Dream Antenna Design. Very good, Scott. Now I got that, and I certainly will go to YouTube with that. Very good. Thanks for the QSO, Scott. I better go grab a cup of water because my voice is going. 011, why don't you take over for me and let me grab that water and you can pick it up with Scott.
Roger, John, 85 Long Island from 011 Barnes County. All right, Scott, you're 5 and 3, 53 year report on the it's about 100 foot above the ground. There was a president, HR 2510, using a static desk microphone, the 1104, and my power to the antenna, 303. Scott in Chicago, 011 returning, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that, 011, yeah, the old 2510. I've got one of those. I'm having a speaker problem, but I'll get to it one of these days. Hi. Yeah, I'm running the Fox Tango. It's a 890, and I think you've heard all the rest of the of my blabber. Hi. But yeah, I get you pretty much 100%. I don't at times even have a signal, but I got the modulation in there real good. So yeah, and you got something up pretty high. It sounds like 100 feet. Maybe that's too high there, Roger.
Yes, Scott, you get a little low for me with difficulty. I only got about half of that. So we'll take a standby. Scott, always a pleasure. Sorry conditions seem to be on the fade, but thanks for taking a minute to Operator Jim. I'll pass the microphone to you, Scott, for the final. Cheers, up.
Roger. QSL, Jim. Okay, thank you for the get back, and good to hear you guys out there in the Bronx County. Yeah, real good to hear you. I was just saying, if you can copy, I wonder if you're like overshooting us because of the height of your antenna. It's pretty high up. But okay, catch you later for now. 73s 011 and 085 out there. This is Lima Victor 412 Chicago, and I'll be reading the mail. Bye-bye.
Ciao, 412 from 011 and
QSK Chicago.
Yeah, and let's hear that Roger beep. Okay, we got a QSK for Chicago. I don't know if these guys are going to pick it up, but if they do, we can always move along to another channel.
Okay, this is the QSK. This is 101. We're in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Hello to you out in your neighborhood.
Yeah, 101. You're in the neighborhood, buddy. S4 into Chicago, Illinois. S4. Roger.
Roger D there. I'll tell you what. From Chicago out here to the East Coast to Atlantic City, New Jersey, you're coming through here. Nice 5x5. Good clear signal. Good modulation here. Let's see how our neighborhood. I'll give you a little idea what's going on. We had the mic down. We had some real heavy thunder and lightning storms early this morning, but sun come out and the humidity come up. So we're in for a hot weekend Sunday here in New Jersey.
Last time I haven't heard it in a long time.
Roger that, New Jersey. Yeah, you got Operator Scott here. Sierra Charlie Oscar Tango Tango. Yeah, we've got our humidity in here right now too. And yeah, it's not so nice if you get away from the breeze or a nice fan like I have set up in the shack here out back. You know, nice strong fan, and it's not too bad there, Roger.
Roger there, Scott. First person on here is Andy, A-N-D-Y. And radio shot's a little warm right now. We don't have any humidity in this area here, so I get on the radio as long as it's cool enough to operate it a little bit, and I just like to say hello around the neighborhood of the USA. Go ahead.
QSL, Andy. Yeah, no problem, man. Good to hear you in there representing New Jersey. I think you're the first one today that came in. So, yeah, I don't know if you heard, I was talking to those guys there in New York, and I had a little video clip going there. So, yeah, look for you too. I got about 3 minutes left, and it's still rolling there, old man. What's the working conditions in New Jersey? I'm running my triple bazooka, the Trizuka, Roger.
Working conditions in Jersey are fair. I wouldn't say that they're good, but they're fair. But we have about 3 or 4 casinos in Atlantic City. Very cool, Jim. Very cool. Listen, with your permission, I'm going to kind of bow down. There's a lot of big stations coming in there, and people out of working for you. I don't know what's going on with the DX. It's not like it's coming up, but I want to really thank you, Jim, for the update on the Channel 4 and the Channel 41 and this weekend. I'll be looking out for emails because I know that Sean does send me emails every time. And the fact that they're on some Saturday nights and Friday nights at 9 o'clock, I certainly will listen to that. Certainly. The show's been great, and you know, you're one of those operators that I heard the radio for. That's why I keep coming back. That's why I put the mic down. All right, we're going to go upstairs and fight with the XYL, and maybe see if we can get outside, go for a walk in between the drops.
Yeah. Yeah, 085 just crushed you there, buddy. He's back. You'll have to repeat there, summarize. I know it sounded like you had a long key down there. Try it again, sorry.
Okay, the propagation's going up and down a little bit, I guess, and there's a couple of heavy hitters in there with us there, so, yeah. What I said there, and I'll give you a little idea of what we're using here, because that station line 1020 here is kind of set back for us, so all stations on frequency, especially Jim 311, enjoy the sun, and we got an answer on Journey Radio, 85, 73 Cool, with my hand there, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I got the Antron 99. Okay, roger that. Yeah, Fox Tango 890 here, hand mic. Yeah, it's Mike Hotel 1, and I've got it in the number 2 position. And my triple bazooka there, and yeah, just pushing only about average probably 75 whiskeys over.
Roger there. Yeah, I imagine it says here probably, I don't have a meter on it right now, but I think these push out close to 150 out of the box, and this is an older model, so it may not even be doing that. Some of the new ones are pushing up to 175, but this one here I've had for, I'd say maybe for about the last 10 years now, so it's not as up to date as the new 2995s, but it still works and does a good job. You know, when the propagation's right. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. You got the mobile, yeah, the high power. Yeah, that's a good radio. And is that the stock mic?
Okay. There's a couple of operators that jump